Microsoft, right? The other piece of information, this is before I begin. I'm a Rotarian, so last Friday I made a speech at the Rotary Club, and our chief guest, at that time we had a guest speaker who was a professor of management and psychology from San Jose State University. And I try to grab whenever I get the opportunity to speak to people. So that's the way to practice. All right, so let me begin. Did anyone experience any tremor on the 4th of February? Earthquake tremor? No? It's probably the reason why you didn't experience is because this tremor took place in the corporate boardroom in Microsoft. For the first time, they appointed an Indian as the CEO of the company. Now contrast that 30 years ago, and you will know how far America has come. 30 years ago, I was working as a product manager in one company. And one day my boss walked over to me and he says, Himanshu, you are foreign and you have accent, so you cannot be a marketing manager. You have to work in the background, not in the foreground. So I would like you to transfer it. So I said, what am I going to do now? I thought about it for a while. And I walked over to the HR manager. I said, take your job and show. And I handed over my credit cards that I was given, the employee badge, the rental cards, and I walked out of the company. And then I got another job. And then I started working with the company, and I said, gee, I shouldn't have done that, you know. It was very bad of me to talk to the HR manager like that. So I said, I'm not going to repeat this. Sometime later, I went to another company. The boss walks over to me and he says, Himanshu, you know you have an accent. You cannot be a product manager and be in a foreground. You need to work as an engineer in the background. So we'll transfer you to engineering. So I said, I promised myself that I'm not going to say the same thing to HR manager. So this time I walked over to the CEO. I said, take your job and shove it. I'm out of here. And I walked out of that, went to another company. And then I started working there. I was managing $80 million product line. And one day, and I used to go to a meeting every Friday with all the vice presidents of the company. I was a junior master, I was a senior manager at that time. The CEO comes to the meeting, he says, we are facing a technical problem, and because of which the company is likely to go financially bankrupt. So we need solutions from every one of them. There are like 20 people. 19 of them vice presidents, and I'm the only senior manager. So CEO goes from one vice president to another asking for a solution. What do you think is the solution, guy? Well, can you solve this problem? He says, no. So many people say just like idiots. No. Somebody else says, Donna, can you do it? Do you have a solution for that? No. Donna said, yeah, this is a solution, for example. And CEO just shot it down, said, no, that will not work. And I was the last person before me, it was my boss who was engineer from MIT, engineer from Harvard. He said, yes, I have a solution. He proposed a solution, technical solution. CEO immediately shot it down and says, no, that's not going to work. He says, Himanshu, what is your solution? So Himanshu says, he gives a solution. His boss immediately said, that's a stupid idea. So CEO says, no, I think it will work. Himanshu, why don't you give me the proposal in writing in a couple of days? I gave him the proposal, he reviewed it, and he said, yes, we can implement this solution. So he went ahead and implemented, and the company is saved from bankruptcy. So he said, the CEO says, Himanshu, go ahead and publish the entire article, your process to all the employees so they get some confidence that they're not going to lose their job. So I wrote a proposal, so my boss comes to me and says, Himanshu, before you publish it, give me the draft. I gave him the draft. So then the following Friday he calls me in his office. He says, Himanshu, you're fired. And within half an hour, take up your stuff and get out of here. And on your way, pick up the copy that you published. I published it in my name. So on my way, I picked it up and left. So 3 years later, I went ahead and started a company. I became successful. My product has to, because it was a networking company, my product has to work with the product of the company I work for. I called up the CEO, I said, look, we'd like to test your product with our product. He said, sure, come and test it. My boss, ex-boss, didn't want to do it. So he kept on refusing. Finally, I managed to get it done. And then I wrote a letter to CEO, addressed to CEO as well as to my boss, explaining to them what all was going on, how my things were taken up by this man. I'll probably say his name. My boss was then fired from his job, and I went happily ever after to my bank. That is my story.